Oh, good Lord, how you doing? All you South Carolina Gamecock fans up there, how you doing? Is it a good weekend? Have you had a good weekend? Did y'all go watch your chickens play this weekend? I heard y'all did. I heard y'all had a little team come into town. Lord, oh my goodness, my Lord, I'm telling you right now, I saw all y'all in the first half, beginning of the game. Y'all had you had your pair of your white bloomers swinging them around, and you had that German rave music playing. Sounded like a bunch of people took ecstasy and had some guy named Valors create some type of track for them to dance to and a ooh and a go in it. And oh Lord, y'all were showing out. Got Spencer Rattler, who left that terrible, awful, no tradition program of Oklahoma to come and be where they're supposed to be. And then guess what happened? Go ahead and pick your dookie chicken. Go do what you do best. Go ahead and pick your dookie chicken, and in this instance, and the Bulldogs ripped your head off and deep fried you in cheese. There we go, you bunch of dookie peckers. Georgia comes into this game and absolutely blows y'all out of the park. And I know SEC. I love the excuses. They were terrible. They were just. And here's the thing about it. I want y'all to think that at the height of y'all's success, the best bowl you went to was the Capital One Bowl, a credit card bowl. That was it. That's all you can make it to. And then y'all had, let me tell you about class, all right? Now, I'm not a big fan of Georgia. I ain't a big fan of them. I got some good fans comes on here, good people. We spar and go with SEC Dog, Bruce Hucks. For Bruce, one more time. I owe this to Bruce, about fell out of my chair. Here we go. Bruce, this is for you. Georgia, for the first time in 40 years, you didn't wet the bed again. It's a weird, sweet song for y'all that you didn't waste your talent on all those good recruiting classes y'all brag about all the time, and finally won a national championship with Stetson Bennett. I still quote one of your biggest Georgia fans when they said when Stetson Bennett was coming back to Georgia that they would rather have a waste basket. Yes, a waste basket as the quarterback versus Stetson Bennett. Wonder if they still feel that way. But let's talk about class. Yesterday, Louisiana Tech, teeny tiny school, came and played at Clemson. Now, before either one of you teams start screaming about strength of schedule, remember last week Georgia played Samford. That's right, Samford. And then you Gamecocks was playing Georgia State and almost lost. Okay? All right? You did get me. Y'all did it. So Louisiana Tech comes in. Unfortunately, one of our football players, family members, passed away. And what did Louisiana Tech's team do? The coach came out wearing a shirt honoring her. And then even the players went out there and wrote notes from Louisiana Tech players to give to Brian Brissy to encourage his family after the loss of his sister. That is what is commonly known as class. South Carolina does not have class. They've never had class. Every time they even semi-gotten good at anything, start juking around and everything. And I mean, Lord, take your women's basketball coach. didn't even do her due diligence and just trusted somebody who said that BYU, yeah, they're a bunch of white people, that one of their players called her a racial slang. And what did y'all's women's basketball coach, by the way, the best sport y'all have, a sport that very few people even goes and watches. What's she do? I'm not going to play those bunch of racists. Didn't even do her due diligence. And guess what happened? It came out. I know, wait for it. That BYU fan, player, whatever, never said what they claim she did. It's a big lie. But you know what? I haven't heard an apology from your head female basketball coach. Lord, no, because that would be classy to say, hey, I shouldn't have jumped the gun. But that's just a tidbit of everything that goes on down there in South Carolina. And you played Georgia, and Georgia beat your brains in, and it was funny. Funny. Go through these comment section real quick. Sean D, may there to you. Parker Henderson, Parker, it's good to see you. Be seeing you Thursday night. Got Chase Henderson, he's back in here. Eric Odom, Southern Buck 352, may there to you. Got Hunter Goatfro, may there to you. Got Giannis, I can't even say that. A man said a credit card, but let me see. Parker Henderson said that even after South Carolina went to all those credit card bowls, it still didn't raise their credit score. That's the joke of the night, folks. You win, my friend. You win. Fantastic. Sweet. Tommy Reinhart, haven't been in here in a while. I see Clemson still struggling to move the ball. Go Bucks. May there, Tommy. I have missed how just absolutely annoying you could be at times, but I'm glad you're back here. May there to you, Tommy. And then, did y'all hear about this? So, somebody, Chase just said that UGA is really, really good, and they'll probably beat about everybody's brains in. Chase, we don't have to be fair to the Gamecocks. To be fair should never be stated before we say anything about the Gamecocks. Anything the Gamecocks has done, any good or bad that has happened to them, if it's good, it's by accident. If it is by bad, it was deserving. Somewhere, in the post game, one of these South Carolina covering journalists down there smarts off basically to Shane Beamer and asks him, he says, hey, do you think basically you boys just kind of quit in the locker room? You just ask a man who just got his butt handed to him. He's a brand new coach. And listen to me, Shane Beamer is too good to be at South Carolina. He really is. Us Clemson fans actually has respect for the guy. Comes from a good football family. The guy has a good reputation in college football. How the heck he ended up in the armpit of South Carolina, only God himself knows. And y'all are sitting there trying to talk trash to this guy or allude to this, that maybe they all quit. Listen to me. South Carolina's football team, as a whole, if it was a cupboard, it would be barren. That man is coming in there working with basically nothing. There's very few to deal with. And you want to run him off? Remember, this is the same school that thought hiring Muschamp was a good idea. Okay? I'm gonna paint this out for you. If you can't win at Florida, you darn well ain't winning at Columbia. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I don't know if they thought they were going to get the same mojo they got with Steve Spurrier down there, which, of course, he ended up quitting mid-season. Did he have cancer? No. What did his wife's head fall off and roll down a flight of steps, and he had to go spend the rest of his time trying to find it so he could attach it to her neck? No. He got tired of losing. He's like, I'm not a loser. I've been a winner all my life. And suddenly, I'm losing. Y'all are terrible. Y'all are really, really, really terrible. That's right, Brian W. Steve Spurrier retired mid-season. Mid-season. That's what he did. Mid-season. He went, well, I don't think I want to coach the rest of these games. Muschamp's working out great coaching defense at Georgia. What's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is. Georgia's defense was already good. Muschamp is known as to be a good defensive coach, but notice how many yards a lot of his defenses has given up. They've given up a lot even when he was the head man as a DC. Historically, go look at it. I mean, my Lord, he got fired at Florida. He got fired at South Carolina. If Kirby left tomorrow and they turn the program over to Muschamp, you can go ahead and kiss even winning 7 out of 12 games bye-bye. There's some people who are meant to be a DC or an OC, but they are not meant to be a head coach. And I believe that's the deal for him. And if you go, you're trashing him, the man has made more money than all of us being a DC. And then on top of that, the payouts he gets for losing. So Big Willie is totally fine tonight. He's okay. He's doing better than me and you. You don't have to jump to his defense. I wished I could get paid that much money for lackluster performance. If I did, my head would explode and ruin the interior of this room that needs to be redone already. You're right, Giannis. Kirby's defense has a ton of talent. And it was, let me tell, this is to my point about Florida. All you have to do when you're at Florida is just recruit in Florida. You're in the easier side of the SEC in the East. I know Georgia's now good, but I'm saying at the time that Muschamp was there, tell me who was a big threat in the East compared to Florida's talent. At the time that Will Muschamp was the head coach of Florida, who was better in the East than Florida? With talent and everything. Nobody. I didn't say nobody couldn't compete with him. And Alabama's one team on the other side of the conference. We know the answer to this. You can swirl around like a turd in a toilet trying to find things to say that's kind of clever to me. I'll never forget this. Heard somebody say this behind closed doors. Said, Coach Muschamp. This is somebody big from South Carolina. If I even named this person, y'all wouldn't even believe it. But I actually heard this from them. They didn't know that I heard them. This is when Muschamp was just hired at South Carolina. He told somebody, he said, Coach Muschamp said that if he would have had this same coaching staff at Florida, he'd still be there. Well, guess what? How'd that work out for you? You're just paying Will Muschamp tons of money. Y'all remember, Muschamp is totally fine. He doesn't care anything about what you and I think. And he came in there, ran that defense, but he's not really running it. Kirby is. Okay? He's got great talent everywhere. Y'all got blown out. Your team looks destitute. Rattler, I mean, you can give him a truck, 2 trucks, whole fleet of trucks. And right now, he still doesn't have anything to work with, so you really don't know if it's Rattler, if it's part Rattler and rest of the team. Y'all ain't working much. And until you are, I mean, my Lord. But yeah, Georgia absolutely annihilated y'all. It is hilarious. And I'm far from a Georgia fan. Tell you what y'all need to do. Y'all need to focus on women's basketball. Because, listen to me, Georgia, women's basketball dearly needs y'all support. Because we hear about it all the time. Y'all, if you would just take all the energy you pour into football, pour it into women's basketball, and anytime their coach comes out and accuses somebody of being a racist, y'all could spend all your time supporting her instead of paying attention to going out and saying, like, buying season tickets to see the Gamecocks lose. And you would be pouring it into a good cause, and y'all could go down there and support them, and it'd be fun. It'd be a little something to do, and you get some, fake activism done. Think about that. You can go in there and do your fake activism. You know what's better than being an actual, real, pulling for a real, legitimate cause activist? You know what's much better than that? Being a fake one. Because you can make up any cause you want to at any time. And apparently, that's what y'all really like to do down there, especially in the women's basketball program. Well, look, Georgia win this ball game. Hey, my Lord, they could have ran up 70 points on you, but they just finally chilled out. Just finally chilled out. Finally chilled out. Well, I'm Bobby Dirkens. I know I've stirred the pot tonight, but Lord, I tell you, I was in a stirring mood and got a new stir via South Carolina Gamecocks. I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up, I'll keep showing out. Bobby, I got you.